combination of both physical and inner flight. I started flying planes when I was young. I started building them too. As I grew, flight became a passion and an obsession. I started collecting and restoring old planes. I now have the largest private collection in the world. It didn't stop there. I started building Fantasy of Flight, aviation theme park in Florida, halfway between Tampa and Orlando. I have lots of them. And I'm going to build something no one has ever created. I'm going to call it Orlando. They call me the mayor because I've discovered unbelievable potential within myself. And I want to create a place where others can discover theirs.
Kermit is a true enthusiast. He's been involved with aviation since the earliest days of his life. He's made it an art form and he's succeeded in it in every way. Rather than concentrate entirely on collecting aeroplanes, which he's done obviously very successfully, as he has the largest private collection of aircraft in the world. Over and above that, he's taken on board the idea that the development of aviation within the human being is something that pushes the boundaries. It stretches one's personality and one's ideas. It's something that most people would look at it and they would say, well, can I fly? Of course I can't fly. But then if you choose to push yourself, then you can fly. And he's taken that idea and he's moving that beyond what you would see as a collection of aeroplanes to an idea and the celebration of man's achievements. That's his vision, and one that we pretty much all share, and we'd like to move forward with him.
Fantasy of Flight originally started as an extension of my museum project in Miami. The early museum in Miami was a typical tin hangar museum. It was actually a stepping stone to where I think that Fantasy of Flight is headed. We're at a level now that we call ourselves an aviation attraction. We're at the cutting edge of what you would consider an airplane museum, but we're about to morph into what I believe can become the next attraction industry. There's actually two aspects to the airplanes that are here. One aspect is my personal collection, which is over 140 airplanes, personally owned. I also started a not-for-profit charitable organization called the Weeks Air Museum, which was the facility in Miami, and they own about 20 airplanes right now, some of which have been donated by other people. Most of them I have donated to the organization. One of the really exciting rare airplanes that we have here at Fantasy of Flight is the P-51C Mustang. There are only 4 of these original airplanes in existence, and this is the only one that flies.
Kermit loves authenticity. I would think most of the latter-day restoration work that's been done for Kermit, or that we have done for Kermit, has won prizes at some level or another. If there is not a rivet available, a different rivet style for an aeroplane hasn't been available for 50 years, he will have those rivets struck, reproduce exactly what should be.
If you don't know how to do something, he won't stop you and say, well, you don't know how to do that, we're not going to have you work on that. He'll actually encourage you to learn how to do something. So if it's something you've always wanted to learn how to do, you can take on that challenge and learn it.
People do not realize the phenomenal potential that they have within themselves. And what Fantasy of Flight is really trying to do is to create an environment through entertainment where people can discover that themselves. I think it's interesting being in the position to be able to afford and collect these airplanes and to be able to not only fly them, but the biggest aspect of my personal satisfaction is being able to share my wealth and my passion with other people. It's very heartwarming for me to know that we've made a difference. Somebody's enjoyed what we've offered here. People have been touched by what we're trying to do. And that really encourages me to continue forward on this big dream that I have of what we're trying to create here.
Thank you all for coming. Tell your friends. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, to introduce Kermit, who is absolutely one of the most inspiring people I've ever met in my life, who has never given up on his quest to make the world a better place, is America's greatest aviator and who's been a mentor to us all, and that's Mr. R.A. Bob Hoover.
you. Thank you very much. I am truly honored to make this presentation, The Freedom of Flight, to Kermit Weeks. He's a person that lived his dream. And for those of you who have not seen that museum, I can assure you, you will be pretty excited. It takes you through history of aviation. Kermit has held 2 National Aviation Aerobatic Hall of Fame type awards, 2 times champion, and he went on from there to participate in the World Championships internationally and walked away with a gold. And here's a man who has done it all. Kermit?
Well, this was certainly a surprise and certainly an honor. You know, to be able to live your dreams and goals is one of the greatest rewards of life. But to be able to share those dreams and goals is an even greater reward. I can't thank Bob Hoover and the Legends enough for even considering me for this award. And I would like to thank Bob and Sean for their kind words and introduction. I am so grateful for the opportunity and the experience to be included in this amazing group of awe-inspiring legends. I couldn't help but reflect while I was watching the other awards being presented about what and why we give these awards out. And yes, it is to honor someone for something accomplished. But more importantly, it becomes an opportunity for each and every one of us to ponder our own talents, our own dreams, and our own goals. For when we see others succeed for the talents they bring into this world, we cannot help but reflect on the untapped potential that lies within each and every one of us, and how we might use that potential, not only to help ourselves, but to help others as well. In this journey we call life, I see us all as each other's heroes, for we each inspire each other to look within and to bring forth that potential which lies within everyone, just waiting to be manifest. I see this room as a profound example of this, filled with many heroes that have brought their talents, their dreams, and their potential into this world. And while we each have the opportunity to be inspired by others, we also each have the opportunity to inspire others as well. To me, the greatest gift I will take home from this experience is that flight, more than anything, is the most profound metaphor of pushing our boundaries, reaching beyond ourselves, and freedom. Not only in the physical worlds, for we all relate to reaching for the sky, reaching for the stars, but within us as well, for we all relate to flying in our dreams and soaring in our imagination. To me, our fascination with this fantasy of flight is simple. Something draws us beyond what we think we are to become more of what we truly are. For each and every one of us, at any point on our journey, has an opportunity to look within and take a step beyond ourselves. And the metaphor of flight will always be the most profound expression of this. Flight is also the most profound expression of freedom. And this freedom, which many of us in this room get to enjoy, gives us an opportunity to see our world and this experience we call life from an even greater perspective. For as we cruise along from our lofty perch, we get to look down on a world, our world, and see it from a higher perspective, And as we look off to a distant horizon, we can't help but wonder what might lie beyond that horizon. And then, as we look up into a seemingly never-ending sky, we can't help but wonder what it might take to go beyond our current perception and climb even higher. This is the magic and the power of flight and the freedom it presents. To the clouds, to the moon, to the stars, the opportunities of flight are endless, and they are also timeless. For we were drawn beyond ourselves in the past. We are drawn beyond ourselves in the present, and we will be drawn beyond ourselves in the future. The metaphor of flight and the freedom it expresses has the power and the potential to touch each and every one of us in very profound ways, not only as individuals, but as a society and as a planet. The mission of the Kitty Hawk Air Academy is to inspire today's youth through the freedom of flight, to go beyond themselves, to help develop tomorrow's leaders, and to help create tomorrow's legends. They have chosen the greatest medium with which to accomplish these goals. I am so proud to be associated with such a fine and passionate group of people, people that are willing to share themselves, and people that are willing to help others in the promotion of those goals. We've seen the last 100 years. Let's create the next. Flight, more than anything on this planet, symbolizes our deepest desire to push our boundaries, to reach beyond ourselves. Let's use it to inspire humanity to take the next step on its journey. Thank you.